Welcome to Drive Your Journey. I'm your host, Fred Arnold, and I'm with my good friend, John Lite. John Lite is a risk advisor with State Farm, but a good friend of mine that's also an Ironman athlete. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So we're going to talk about, we had some recent disasters in our community.
Yes.
One of them was the fire. So really, I want some tips on how do you prepare for that now? Because I know that was something you were really sharing on social media about how to prepare for the fire.
Absolutely. Well, I guess climate change is the big thing that everyone's talking about. And 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you had a fire, it wasn't as bad as it is today. And again, that's being attributed to the climate change. But we're also seeing, especially in the Santa Cruz Valley, that we're building homes in more rural area, right? We're getting farther and farther away from the city, and we're putting these structures in areas that we should not be putting homes in. And with the extreme winds and the extreme heat that we're having, we're seeing neighborhoods catch on fire 5 miles away from where the fire actually started. So we really have to be cautious of where we're building. And then if you are in those areas, you have to take greater precautions than what we ever did before. Brush clearance used to be 100 feet. I would say 500 feet minimum. Covering eaves underneath the home, stuff like that. So when someone approaches me about homeowners insurance and they're in those type of areas, I have to go out anyway, but I like to do an inventory and see what they have and give them any ideas that they need to make sure that their house will be protected. However, we're also seeing that a lot of areas we cannot protect anymore because of just the massive amount of losses that have been attributed to the wildfires in the last 5 years.
Yeah, let's break it down micro. What are some tips that the homeowner could do, to actually prepare? For example, this sounds simple, but we all have phones nowadays. Just video your house so you know what was in it.
Well, that's a great question, Fred. And when people ask me, I can't take everything. If you want to put a claim in and you want to get the value for everything that you actually have to list every single item, right? Obviously, maybe not clothes, but if you have that expensive $4,000 TV, right, and those rings, you have to be able to list every single one of them. And if you just take a quick video of everything, you're going to have it on your phone, because when you're gone through such a devastating loss like that, you're just not going to remember everything. If we have it on video, you're going to be able to just take your time, write it down. The insurance company will work with you. They'll be a lot easier in the long run to take a very simple minute, 2-minute video on your phone to have that ready.
Yeah, the one thing also is if you have photos of your kids growing up, divvy them up in the, hey, put a couple of those boxes at your mom's, put a couple boxes at, here at your sister's.
Sure.
Because if something happens, you don't lose it all.
Right, and important papers and that sort of thing as well. Some people have fireproof safes that could work.
But if that fire is hot enough, those
absolutely.
fireproof safes.
So I would just say anything of value, great importance, stick it in a bank or, like you said, divvy it up maybe in other people's homes, that sort of thing.
How much coverage should you have when it comes to homeowners insurance? Because that's the industry I'm in, helping people cover their homes with mortgage loans. How much insurance do you need?
That's a tricky question. So I'm going to try to break it down as quickly as I can. So when we have a massive wildfire, for instance, and you're at $200 a square foot, for instance, is actually the minimum you want to have is $200 a square foot. I recommend minimum. You should be at $250, even $300 on your more expensive homes. It depends what you have. If you have Formica or if you have this beautiful imported tile, correct? You want to have that replaced. So again, I have to ask, I go out to the homes and say, look, this is what we need to value your home at. But what we're also seeing is, for instance, the Paradise Fire. They have not rebuilt yet, and it's been over a year. Malibu, they're saying 10 years to rebuild all those homes. So one of the other areas is your loss of use coverage on your homeowner's policy. Now, we have an unlimited for 2-year policy, which is fantastic. A lot of companies put a limit, or so for instance, they'll do like a 10% of what your home value is. What we've seen in the Paradise Fire is every single person has ran out of loss of use coverage. What does that mean? They're no longer getting money to live at a hotel or in another home. None of their out-of-pocket expenses are being reimbursed.
Yeah,
and their home's not being rebuilt.
Yeah.
So loss of use is critical. Most people don't realize that. Everything else is covered, but where are you going to live immediately after? Make sure you have good coverage.
Last but not least, earthquake.
Yeah.
Earthquake or to not earthquake?
Right. So as you know, in 2008, we had the big recession. And when I was throwing that question out there, well, I'm just going to let my house go anyway. It's a loss of value. Whether you do that or not, in today's world, your home has definitely gained value, and do you really want to do that? So, I think just like back east where they have tornadoes and hurricanes, you have that coverage. In California, it doesn't happen every year, but it is going to come. So do you want to pay for something that will take care of your home? And you have to think about how much is your home going to cost if you have to rebuild it, as opposed to the claim premiums you pay maybe over 20, 30 years. It won't even come close. I recommend you do it. I think everyone should do it. And it's through the California Earthquake Authority. Insurance companies themselves don't offer it anymore, at least the bigger, the 5 top ones. So we write it through California Earthquake Authority.
Yeah, and you can help with all that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in. We covered
Thank you.
exactly what I wanted to, which was
Yep.
fires here in Southern California. How much insurance do you get? But more importantly, those who want to reach out to you, because you're a true consultant, a true advisor when it comes to risk. How can they get you?
You can reach me on my phone number, 661-713-0192, or just look me up, John Lite at State Farm. Lite is my last name spelling.
Well, after John advises you, I recommend you pick his brain about endurance athlete, or athletics, because John's into that, and he's a good friend. So
Appreciate it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Drive Your Journey. If you'd like to recommend a great guest that can help drive others' journey, please email me, fred@fredarnold.com. Until we speak again, keep living your life and driving your journey.